Hello everyone. Just got home for lunch real quick. I ran home probably about 30 minutes ago. I live close to my office and ate some leftovers real quick, and I'm getting dinner ready for tonight. And I've got to get back to the office in like 15 minutes. So this has got to be quick, right? So I have already chopped up some various sweet peppers. These are sweet peppers. I got all of these for $2 at the farmer's market, which is a great resource, by the way. If you're here around the Birmingham area, I go to Pepper Place, but there's all sorts of farmers markets. So check out your local farmers market because, you're supporting the local farmers and getting some really good food for probably really good prices. Because, how much is a red pepper at the grocery store these days? Like a lot. And I got all of these for $2. So, I've also chopped up some heirloom tomatoes that I got from the farmer's market too. Those are 2 medium-sized tomatoes. And I'm about to throw all of this together, so I'm going to turn this around real quick so you can see. Yay, here we are. Okay, so I've still got to get a tripod, and I promise I will, but I'm going to set this down so you can see what I am doing. I'm just finishing chopping the peppers real quick. If you've got any comments or anything or questions, go ahead and throw them out there because I can see what you're doing while I'm chopping here. But basically what I'm making is an Italian dish, though you could really kind of use any other spices and just kind of do with it what you want. But I'm taking these peppers and I just kind of cut them off their cores, but I'm chopping them in kind of strips. They're pretty chunky, probably about the size of a finger. I kind of leave them chunkier like that just because they're easier to get on a fork. But what this is going to do is get thrown in the crock pot here in just a minute with some Italian turkey sausage and the heirloom tomatoes that I've chopped, as well as some tomato puree. Now, I have used just like jars of tomato sauce already made before, and I thought I had a jar of that in the cabinet, and I don't. But this is not your professional cooking show. This is a real-life cooking show. So what do I do when I don't have spaghetti sauce already made? I make it myself. Tomato puree. Here's some organic tomato puree, which is actually a lot more than I need, so I'm probably going to put half of this back in the fridge. But, well, thank you. I'm glad you're coming in. I just dropped a pepper. Oh, well. Okay, so this is basically chopped, and I've got probably about 4 small, 3 big peppers. You can kind of use whatever peppers you want. They're all sweet, though. You could do this with some hot peppers if you really like spicy stuff and make it kind of more of a Mexican type dish. But this is Italian because my husband asked for Italian tonight. What I've got here is some frozen, it's kind of dark, sorry, frozen Italian turkey sausage. I buy discount meat a lot. Let's see, do you get the veggies mushy in the crock pot? They don't really get mushy. The tomatoes get mushy, but I kind of want them to be because they're turning into sauce. The peppers get cooked, so do they get limp and cooked? Yes, but they don't really turn into mush. The sausage, though, I got it on sale, and a lot of times you can get meat that is about to turn, not really turn, but they can't sell it after that date in the store. And as long as you get it home and either cook it immediately or get it in the freezer immediately, it's good to go. So this has been frozen probably for a couple weeks. So, and they're frozen hard. So I'm just going to stick these down in the bottom here. Just throwing them down there. They're turkey sausage, so they're lean. Here, I'm going to pick this up so you can see what's going on. I'm going to turn it around. Hey, okay. So seriously, this is this easy. I'm throwing these in the pot here. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. You just throw them in. We'll get fancy with the herbs and spices here in a minute since I'm using tomato puree and not spaghetti sauce. This is kind of hard to do with one hand holding the camera, but I'm doing all right. Only dropped like 2 peppers. Now, my heirloom tomatoes, remember this was about 2 medium-sized tomatoes, and you don't have to use heirloom. It's just I happen to get a really good deal on a bunch of heirloom tomatoes at the farmer's market. Hearts for those tomatoes because they're gorgeous. So I'm dumping those in. Then the tomato puree. So this is just organic tomato puree. Really, you can use spaghetti sauce that's already made. There's a brand that I use at Winn-Dixie that doesn't have any added sugar to it, and I usually have 2 or 3 jars in my pantry, and I seem to have gone through them. But this stuff is good because it's literally just pureed tomatoes. So we're going to put probably about half of this in. I'm going to switch hands so I can pour with my right hand, because pouring with my left is probably not a good idea, since I do have to go back to work and I can't get tomato sauce on me. So probably going to do about half that, because I don't want it too saucy, because the peppers in the crock pot will create kind of their own sauce. I'm going to push it under the light here a little bit more. They will kind of create their own sauce. They'll get a little bit watery, so that sauce is going to get watered down a little bit. I'm not really looking for a spaghetti sauce thickness. If I was, I'd probably have to put in some sort of thickener, either some flour or in the form of kind of a roux. Oh, what am I making? This is dinner. It's very simple dinner. It's there's turkey sausage in the bottom. There are peppers over it, just sweet peppers, and then tomatoes diced and tomato sauce. But I've got to keep going, so make sure you watch the rebroadcast. You can see it all. This isn't going to be very long because I got to get back to work. So herbs. Got my little herb thing over here. We're going to get real simple here and just use the, there it is, Italian seasoning. All right. And I'm going to use a good bit of it because all I'm using is tomato puree and not regular spaghetti sauce. So I'm putting a good bit of herbs in there. If you're using spaghetti sauce that already has some flavoring to it, you may not need as much of this. Just kind of depends on what you want. Also, I'm doing some onion powder. We don't really do a lot of cooked onions in our house. Not everybody likes it. So I'll use a little onion powder to give the flavor. But you could chop up some onions and use onions in here too to give it even more bulk in there. And then also, you can either do fresh garlic if you've got it, or if you're in a hurry like me today, you can just use that good old garlic powder. Make sure it's not the garlic salt, because that's going to be salty. Garlic powder is perfectly fine. And then I always do a little bit of sea salt and a good bit of fresh cracked pepper. I've got to set this down so you can see it. There we go. A little bit of sea salt. You can always add salt later, so don't add too much. And then I do a good bit of pepper because we like pepper around here. And that's that. Really, that's about it. That's all I put in there. It's pretty simple. I could honestly just kind of leave it there because it'll cook down a little bit, but stir this up just a wee bit, just kind of get everything coated. Remember, the turkey sausage is down in the bottom, so as everything kind of cooks, it'll cook on top of that turkey sausage. The turkey sausage itself honestly does not have that much flavor, so you really want to put something that has good flavor on top of it. So that looks pretty darn good. So we're just going to kind of let that cook. It's going to cook for about 6 hours on low, which is perfect time because I'll be getting off of jiu-jitsu about that time. My husband and I go to jiu-jitsu, and we'll come home and have dinner basically ready for us. What I'll do is, here, I'll turn this around. What I'll do is make some pasta. He likes the traditional wheat pasta. So I'll probably make some of that for him, so you can use the wheat pasta. But if you're kind of a low-carb person, which I'll probably go low-carb tonight, just because I've had enough carbs today already, then you can use one of these suckers, which is a spaghetti squash. I also got this at the farmer's market, so this is kind of a farmer's market meal, but I usually get them at the grocery store. They're just starting to get in season now, so you can find them at the market. But it's a spaghetti squash, and I cut it in half, and then put it in the microwave with a little dish of water cut side down. And I let it steam. I put some plastic wrap over it and I let it steam for 10 minutes in the microwave. And it makes spaghetti. I kid you not. When you take a fork and scrape out the insides once it's cooked, and it turns into literally spaghetti type noodles. If you've never used spaghetti squash, Google it, YouTube it. I actually think I may have a YouTube video on spaghetti squash out there. I think I might. Anyway, I need to do one because it's fascinating stuff. So this is really good if you're going low carb because it kind of gives you that idea of noodles without having the carbs of noodles. And you can eat a whole humongous plate of it and it's like, I don't know, 80 calories. And it's squash. It's a vegetable. So, good stuff. Anyway, I've got to get back to work. I'm really glad that y'all tuned in to see my quick middle of the day dinner preparation. So if you've got something you've got to do that evening, if you've got a busy day, want dinner ready for you when you get home, this is easy and really healthy. So there you go. We'll take one more look at that. So yeah, remember just turkey sausage, which is frozen. You can have it fresh or frozen. A bunch of chopped peppers, sweet peppers, and chopped tomatoes, and then either tomato sauce or tomato puree with some of the Italian spices and garlic thrown in there. And you can do this high for 3 to 4 hours or low for 6 to 7. There you go. And I will see y'all later. If you want to check out some more recipes, I have a website that the link is in my Periscope bio, but it's kristenSosborne.blogspot.com. You can find a bunch more recipes and fitness tips and stuff on there. So check y'all later.